My name is Adi. Just like many of you, I first came to planet Earth with what I would call the rainbow serpent, the electromagnetic coil, the spiral of creation, truly the consciousness that created what we know as Mother Nature on planet Earth, and the original humanity with the original blueprint that we are returning back to. Many of us came as part of the rainbow serpent. I would call us the rainbow children, as we came from the body of the rainbow serpent. And we truly were the ones who co-created Mother Nature. So from our bodies, Mother Nature would give birth to a stream, to a mountain, to a sea, to the ocean. And so many beings came here millions of years ago to create life. Now, this is a very long story. Now we are in the year 2020 and a lot has happened this year. We have been receiving incredible activations of light through light codes. Usually that happens in the middle of the night. You could be awake or asleep. If you can see with your third eye, you know that these activations are super real. They really affect your physical body. They go into your DNA, your nervous system. And now we are in December 2020. This is an incredible time to be embodied on planet Earth. There is a lot of confusion about what we call ascension as well. I wanted to speak about that and the knowledge that was given to me. Many of us, like I said, we're here for the inception of life, which is a very, very long time ago, unimaginable for us now with our human brain. That really is distorted, and all the distorted knowledge that we have about our human history. So many of us are here because we heard the call of this beautiful planet. She is and really has been in trouble, and this trouble is the fall of human consciousness. I know that we humans don't like to hear this, but we have been irresponsible with our thoughts, our emotions, and our behaviors for thousands of years. The key to understanding what happened and what's happening is understanding life force. Life force is what, again, we can call the rainbow serpent. This is the electromagnetic force that nurtures and sustains and creates all life in all dimensions. It is actually Mother Nature. Mother Nature exists in all 12 dimensions of reality and creation. Mother Nature is really the divinity or the divine, the God that we have been seeking for. She has always been around us, but humans lost deep devotion and connection with nature. When that happens, civilizations fall. They fall in consciousness because life force is really the creator. She is a creator. She is the creation. And we could not exist without life force. But as you know, humanity got to a point where very few people, usually it's just the indigenous people, remained connected in a very devotional but also conscious and a loving relationship of reverence with life force, which is Mother Nature. Now, this is the answer really to all that we are going through right now. When beings lose connection from life force, when they stop understanding life force, they start worshipping gods. And we've had many so-called gods come to planet Earth from other planets and star system and galaxies. And of course, when beings stop understanding life, and I call it the life with a capital L, then they become blinded by gods coming from the sky and having super technologies. But that is what I would call our fall from grace. It is grace is the term of a state of being where humanity in the original blueprint was completely nourished through life force. So there was no need to earn money, have any kind of exchange except for the exchange of love light. Our original blueprint, when I see it, is that we were completely sustained by life force. It's unimaginable for us at this point because we depend on so many things. If we try to think with our limited brains about what that would look like if we were completely sustained by life force, maybe we fear that we would lose the benefits we have, like housing, clothing. But that again is a completely different paradigm. We used to be beings of rainbow light. We were barely physical. Our light body didn't have the shape that our physical body has now, which we've become dense. So our rainbow body was nourished by these electromagnetic flows, which you can call the rainbow serpents. And I call them rainbow serpents, like in Aboriginal Dreamtime. They are real and they are conscious, as you know, all of creation is conscious. And so how could creation force not be conscious? 2020, we are at that point where our civilizations on every continent misused life force. And again, this is not to blame anyone, and we don't want to blame anything on anyone, because the time has come for us to face our own enemies within us. The enemy within us is the misuse of life force. When we truly get to know life force, which is going to happen for humanity in the next few months and years, we start not only perceiving it, understanding it and seeing it, we will start using it wisely. Life force, I can call life force Divine Mother. When she is fully known and understood, she can never be misused. And I mean that the being, you and me, would never dare, really, not because of some punishment, but because of wisdom, we would never dare to misuse this precious divine gift for creation. That means that we will become so conscious of the processes within us that we will no longer have unconscious behaviors, and we will no longer be unethical. We will no longer be part of suffering. We will no longer cause harm through thoughts, words, behaviors, actions. Now that's a completely different way of being. So I think Buddhism is very close to the idea of causing no harm. But this new age we are stepping into is beyond any philosophies and religions. Because all we need to know as the new philosophy, new religion, is that we are beings that belong in the field of creation, and that as such, we can be fully sustained, nourished by pure life force, which means we need to be in an honorable relationship with life force and only use life force to create more perfection, more beauty, to be creators. And creators, if you think of yourself as an artist, always want to create something beautiful, even if it's just for your own pleasure, your own joy, or for the joy and pleasure of others. We are stepping into this new era of responsibility. That's huge. So we can start now. Many of you are still facing, the old miscreations. And so we are not only transmuting, we are really facing the miscreations of all civilizations on every continent, because it was the land, Mother Earth, who suffered the most, really, with humans constantly miscreating and misusing. Just think about every human being, almost every human being, during one day, how many negative thoughts a human being has, how many negative feelings, emotions, sometimes even words, and let alone actions or behaviors. All that we are will be aligned with what we can call all-encompassing love, Christ consciousness, Krishna, whatever you want to call it. It is a state in which you become that all-encompassing love, because you remember the most ancient knowledge of all, that we all are part of one cosmos. We are part of that multiverse, every single one of us. And that it doesn't matter how we were created at this point and who, messed with our DNA. That all doesn't matter. This is all evolution. This multiverse, or the cosmos, cares about one thing. It wants to get to know itself, or you can say Divine Mother, Divine Father, Source. They want to know creation. And the only way to know creation is when you get feedback from your creation. So there is no way for cosmos to see itself other than getting feedback from all beings in creation. All individual beings send that feedback to Source. And because we all, zillions of us, send our understanding back to Source, Source can get to know itself through all of us at once. Source needs all of us to get to know itself. The way this knowledge was given to me is that as a being, and again, zillions of beings in the field of creation, we can never fully comprehend Source. We were not meant to fully comprehend Source, even though it's very tempting. But imagine all of us like bees in the beehive, and we are looking out from the beehive through the honeycomb. Each one of us has that one little opening, one little hole through which we look at Source. And whatever we see is limited by the walls of the honeycomb. But as we give feedback to Source of what we see, then Source sees itself fully as the complete Source that is ever expanding. With that knowledge, we are stepping into the era of every single one of us is valuable. We all matter. We all are part of this one being. No one's bad, no one's evil, and yet, everybody is maybe somewhere else, evolving, working on things, learning, but we don't want to be judging. If somebody's still in the first grade and you are maybe kind of in the universal college, we cannot judge anything and anyone. We can just be that all-encompassing love, which is our true purpose at this point, to become the all-encompassing love. The way you can imagine this is that you are a shining sun. And when you are a shining sun, the only thing that you know to do is shine. There's nothing else that you do. That's Christ consciousness. You are the shining sun, and in that beautiful radiance of your light, which is love light, all else is what it is, and it is not up to you to judge it. It's not up to you to even fix it. There is nothing to be fixed, which is a beautiful teaching from Taoism, and yet you are constantly repairing things around you if they need to by existing. So you are uplifting. Just by existing in the state of radiance of the sun, you are creating a tremendous opportunity for every other being to be part of your radiance and to be uplifted and to learn from you, not through words, but just to match your own radiance. So Christ consciousness is the radiance of the solar energy. Another piece that was revealed to me is that our hearts will play a very important role in this new era that we're stepping into, and that our hearts will be like computers that will be reading the code of reality that we will be in. And I don't actually want to call it reality, I want to call it a dream reality as we're stepping into a whole new dream. And it will be the heart that will be computing like a quantum computer. It will just realize all the different options that you have, but it will choose through its own magnetism. The heart has a magnetic field, electromagnetic field, and because there are zillions of options available to us in every single moment in this big cosmos multiverse, it would be impossible for us to actually evaluate these options and then choose. And so the way that multiverse programmed this game of life is that we emit electromagnetic field, and that is the mechanism through which reality comes to us. So I wouldn't say that we manifest our experiences. It is more that we attract life and life possibilities and options to us. So let's say there would be zillions of beings you could be in a relationship with, and it's not that you really manifest someone to be in your life, it's because you have magnetic radiance that will attract to you only that which can match you in your magnetic field. We are now stepping really into the final days of 2020. It is really a very special time for us to be preparing for this amazing reality that is available already to many of us. And what we need to do is just learn how to love life again, how to love Divine Mother again, not as a being that needs to have a face, arms and legs, but as life force in all that is. And that also means in you, which is your ability to love, and in everyone in this multiverse. So love, as always, very simple answer to all that is.